Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Italian Faves series. This lesson is smoked chicken and onion ravioli with Soubise sauce. This lesson is a perfect use for leftover chicken. I had some extra smoked chicken from my smoked stuff, slow-cooked smoked chicken lesson, so I'm using it to make this ravioli. But you can use chicken that's been cooked in any way that you like. Although the Soubise sauce is French, it pairs well with this dish. I've provided a simple Soubise lesson in the notes. You may notice that the Soubise sauce is yellow. That's because I chopped up some saffron and added it to the sauce as it cooks. But that's entirely optional, and it's more for color than for flavor. So let's start cooking. First thing we're going to do is brown and caramelize the onion. So we're going to put this on medium heat, and we have about 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. We're going to let that butter melt. Then we're going to add the sliced onions. Okay, so the butter has melted. Now let's add the onions. As you can see, the onions are very thinly sliced, about 1/8 of an inch thick, okay? And we're going to give them a little bit of salt and pepper, not too much. You can always add more. Can't take it away. Freshly ground black pepper. And we're going to stir them up a little bit, get them coated with the butter, and then we're going to let them cook until they are brown. Stirring them every now and then, okay? Keep an eye on them. Don't let them burn. Okay, the onions are nicely browned, and now we're going to add about 1/4 cup of chicken stock. I make all my own chicken stock. I have a lesson on it. But if you buy store-bought chicken stock, buy unsalted, okay? And you're going to let that reduce, which it does very quickly at this heat, okay? And we're going to let this cook until the onions are what I call just wet or almost dry. It won't take very long. Again, you don't want them to burn. Okay, they look good the way they are. Now what I'm going to do is chill them in the refrigerator. I'm going to take them out of this pan, put them into a little bowl, and let them chill in the refrigerator. Okay, till they're cold. It doesn't take long, okay? We just want them to be chilled before we mix them with the chicken. So maybe 10 or 15 minutes in the fridge, okay? Okay, I have our chicken here on the board, and now I'm going to add the onions on top of the chicken, okay? Now we're going to chop the chicken and the onions together until we get the right consistency for the ravioli filling. So by chopping them together, we will also be mixing them, okay? What consistency do we want for the filling? We want them to be pretty much minced, okay? We want to be able to form this chicken and onions into a loose ball and place it on the pasta that we can then turn into ravioli, okay? So we're just going to chop that until we think we have the right consistency, which is going to be kind of minced. If you have big chunks, it may hinder your ability to make good ravioli, okay? So we want them to be little pieces. Okay, that looks pretty good. You can see that's minced pretty well. Small pieces with the onion mixed in. Now what we're going to do is put that back in the bowl, and we're going to chill it, okay, before we use it to make the ravioli filling, all right? So into the fridge. How long? Probably about half an hour. We just want it to be chilled. It doesn't have to be super cold. I just don't want it to be room temperature, okay? All right, now let's make the ravioli. I have one batch of pasta here that's wrapped in a damp paper towel. I made this earlier today. And we're just going to dust it with a little bit of flour on both sides. And then we're going to dust our work surface with some flour. Okay, then, I'll move the camera when we start doing the ravioli. Then what we want to do is press down on the pasta so it will fit nicely between the rollers on the pasta machine. And then we're going to roll it through on the number 1 setting. And then the number 2 setting. Now, different pasta machines have different maximum numbers. This one I go up to 6, but it actually goes up to 9. I think that 9 is too thin to make ravioli, okay? So I've rolled it through on the 3rd setting number 3. Now I'm just going to dust it with a little bit of flour because it's a little bit sticky. I don't want it to stick to itself, okay? Same thing on the other side. Let's see if we can see this on the camera. Yeah, we can see it. All right, now we're going to go to setting number 4, but first I'm going to cut this in half because it's getting a little bit long, a little bit harder to handle, okay? So then we're going to run it through on number 4. And if you feel like your work surface is getting a little bit sticky, dust it with a little bit more flour, okay? That's setting number 4. Now we're going to go to setting number 5. Okay. Lay it out nicely on your work surface. Use the other piece on setting number 5. Now we're going to go to setting number 6. That's going to be the last setting on this pasta machine. You're going to have to judge your pasta machine and decide what the thinnest setting is that you can use to make ravioli. If the ravioli tears, it's too thin, all right? This is setting number 6, okay? All right, and now we're going to run this last piece through on setting number 6. All right, now we're going to go off camera, reposition it. Okay, now I'm going to judge which one of these pieces is bigger, okay? Because I want the bigger one to go on top of the one that has the mounds of filling on it. I think this one's a little bit bigger, okay? Now what we're going to do is take our filling and make a little ball. All right, now you can see about how big this is, right? And we're going to sit that down on the pasta. Try to keep that ball together, okay? Now what we're going to do is do that with all of the filling, or as much of the filling as we can put onto this piece of pasta, okay? And we're going to have about 3 inches between each mound, and we're going to do as many mounds as we can on this pasta. Now, you also have to judge how big your pasta cutter is, okay? I know that my pasta cutter will fit around these mounds. You don't want to make mounds that are too big for your pasta cutter, all right? Now that I'm doing this line of filling, I'm doing them a little bit offset from the first line, okay, which gives them a little bit more room for when I use the cutter. And I think I said before pasta cutter, I meant to say your ravioli cutter, okay? Okay, now we're going to take a brush and dip it in a little bit of water, just a tiny bit of water, okay? And we're going to brush around each one of these mounds. Now, there are other ways to do this. This is my way, okay? Some people will put the mounds on half of the pasta and then fold the pasta over on top of the mounds. What I do is I put the pasta mounds on top of one piece of pasta and then I cover it with the other piece of pasta. Some people will also be very careful not to get flour onto the surface of the pasta, because if they don't get flour on it, then the pasta pieces will stick together when you put the other piece on top here, or if you fold it over, if you do the folding over way. I don't do that. I don't worry about whether there's any flour on the pasta, because I brush like this. Now what we're going to do is just brush this other piece very lightly with water. Okay. We don't want it to be saturated, okay? We just want a light brush, all right? Light brush. I'm just getting a little bit of water on the brush each time, all right? Then we're going to pick up this piece of pasta carefully, okay? And then carefully lay it on top of our mounds, all right? And you're going to do it slowly. Get them covered. Get your top piece of pasta out to the edges of your bottom piece, okay? Cover each mound. So the pasta will stretch a little bit without tearing, especially if you've found the right thickness setting that works for you. If it's too thin, this will the pasta will tear, okay? Press down around the edges. Then I press on each mound a little bit, flatten them a little bit, okay? And then I press around them, trying to get air out, all right? Then I take my pasta cutter, press it down firmly around each mound, and shake it a little bit on the table, on your work surface, so that the ravioli separates from the rest of the sheet, okay? You can see when it does that. All right, we're going to do that for each piece, for each ravioli. Then we're going to lift up the remaining pasta. Now keep this pasta. I'm going to roll this out again and keep rolling it until I have used up all of the filling. So now we're going to lift up each one of these carefully and put it onto a floured sheet pan, which you can see here, okay? I've put one onto the corner of the sheet pan here, and the sheet pan has been scattered, dusted with flour, okay? Now we're going to put each one of those raviolis onto the sheet pan. Okay, there we go. We have all of the raviolis that we made so far on the sheet pan. Okay, so it's about time to cook our ravioli. So we're going to turn the burner under our pasta pot onto medium heat. I have a pot full of water here, and I have a pasta strainer here as well, which is in the pot. Now, that's what you can use. Once you put the ravioli in there, once it's cooked, you can pull this out, and then you can serve the ravioli, put them right into your bowls out of this pot. I do it a little bit differently. I use this colander with a handle, okay? And I put all the raviolis into the colander just before I'm ready to put them in the pot. Don't put them in any sooner, If you do, they can stick together, okay? You want to make sure that raviolis are dusted with flour. Put them in here right before you put them down in the water. Plunge this down into the water, drop the raviolis into the water, let them cook 2 minutes, and then you can use this handled colander to take them back out. Why do I do that? I find it easier to plate that way. Getting them out of this colander into the bowls, I find that easier to do. But you can use a colander pasta strainer that comes with your pasta pot just as well. So we're going to let this come to a boil. I'm going to cover it so it boils faster. Okay, let's cook these babies. I'm going to drop them into the pasta water. As I said, it's boiling over a little bit, no problem. We're going to let them cook for 2 minutes. Okay, the raviolis are done. I am plating for 2 people tonight, so 5 per person, okay? And then we're going to spoon some sauce over the raviolis. Garnish with some thinly sliced cherry tomatoes. Some freshly chopped sage. And twist of pepper. So there we have it. Smoked chicken and onion ravioli with sauce Soubise. You can see photos of the final dish at my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.